Hi, my name is Gigi. Welcome to today's video. As I promised you yesterday, I want to talk about how to save money by understanding trade tariffs and duties today. So, are the trade tariffs eating into your profits? So many businesses unknowingly they overpay on duties simply because they don't understand the rules. And I'm your expert today, so I will explain how trade tariffs and duty work, and most importantly, share the strategies to save your business money while trading internationally. So, before we dive in, at the end of this video, I will share you two very top secrets, websites that I use daily as a global trade expert to make decisions on, for example, on to purchase, where to purchase things or trade things internationally. So watch until the end and you will see the two top secrets website that I use to, yes, to do my business. All right, let's go over to what are trade tariffs and duties. So tariffs are actually like taxes that on imported goods, and you have specific duties on specific items that you trade with. So as I said yesterday, every product has its own HS code. Once again, what's an HS code? Do you remember? It stands for harmonized codes. It's a barcode for every product, I always used to say. And these are like the tariffs that will give you like a hint on how much duty you have to pay. So why does it matter? I think understanding these costs that can help you to plan better and avoid surprises expenses that eats up or eats into your margin, and that's why you also want to offer a nice price to your consumers, so you have happy consumers if you know the right tariffs, you know the right HS code, and you're not overpaying on duties. Okay, let's dive deep into these key factors to determine tariffs and duties. So what is it? Factor number one is the drum rolls HS code classification. So we have the harmonized system code here, and this is assigned to every product that you have. Like it determines the tariff rate. For example, on specific things like socks, you pay like 12% in Germany, for example. If we import from China, let's say some Christmas socks now, then we have to pay 12% duties on the value of the socks. That is an example. And the factor number two is actually the country of origin. This is the word that I use every day. It's very common for me, maybe not common for you. But as I told yesterday in the video, we're talking about the free trade agreements here. So FTA, I call it. And the FTA is actually, if you can benefit as a business, you can benefit or leverage the FTA by using, by checking the agreements that a country have with each other. Let's say, for example, you are in the EU and you want to trade with South Korea, you want to import socks. The first thing that we do as a global trade expert, we check if there is an agreement between these two countries. And there's a specific website that can be used to make a pre-check on these countries before deciding to trade with these countries, for example, or before buying things from these countries. So the origin here of your product affects very whether it qualifies for preferential tariffs under free trade agreements, that we would say. Factor number 3 is actually the customs valuation. So the duties are often calculated based on the product's declared value. So including the cost of the item itself, the insurance, for example, transport insurance, and freight. So are you going to transport it by ship, by air? The costs have to be put into this calculated value. And this is like the basis of, yes, of your tariff, how much tariff you have to pay. These are the 3 factors that you have to know because these determines your tariff and duties. Okay, remember these 3s. First is HS classification. Second, country of origin. Third, customs valuation. So here are the strategies how to save money on tariffs and duties. So the first tip is to leverage the FTA. I always say leverage the FTA, check before you make a decision. So because the FTAs really allows the business to reduce or even eliminate the tariff of goods that meets the specific origin rules, right? And there you have to know the rules and have to check if the company is comply with the rules. For example, if let's imagine you are a cosmetic company and you are exporting to the EU, and you can save up to 10% by leveraging the FTA with socks, for example. If I'm importing socks from South Korea, I would not have to pay 12%, for example, if I can leverage the FTA as a company, and there are some specific rules that you have to meet. So tip number 2 is optimized product classification. Sometimes what I experience is that companies that is not really have an expert in-house, so they tend to use the wrong HS code. So they think that's the right HS code and they use it wrongly because they don't know it better. And that can lead to overpaying, like you're paying too much tariff duties on this, or it can lead to penalties if you're using the wrong one and you're paying nothing for it. That is like the hidden risk where we talked about yesterday of misclassifying the product. So tip number 3 is consolidate shipment. If you combine shipments together, that can reduce the duties and the cost as well, right? And not shipping like just one lipstick every week, but maybe making a combined shipment, ship it by container ship, using a container to leverage the duties based on weight and volumes here. So tip number 4 is use a temporary import scheme. For example, you want to go to an EU and to show your product to your new clients in the EU, you travel to them and now you don't want to pay duties for these things, right? That means there you can make use of the temporary import schemes. That means you can make a declaration that this is just temporary gonna be in the EU, but when you travel back, you're gonna take it with you home. So that you can avoid tariff with a temporary import bond. So tip number 5 is actually explore bonded warehousing. I know that bonded warehousing is a big topic. It's not for every SMEs, like small, medium-sized business, but maybe for bigger businesses, like if you import like lots of goods from China, from South Korea to the EU, you want to think about the bonded warehouse in Germany or in the EU. That means that you can store goods in bonded warehouses and you can to defer the duty payments until the goods are sold or exported. So these are the tips. Now I'm going over to giving you some, or not some, actually, I'm giving you a real key tip here. So I'm revealing something that only expert knows. Actually, they use it daily. And many people don't know because these are like expertise that you need some expertise to understand it. But today I want to show it to you just to let you know that there are websites that you can have a look into and then check by yourself, maybe as a purchaser, as a purchase manager, for example. You can use that to even help you to decide whether to trade with these countries or not. So let me share with you these websites real quick. My two top secret websites that I use daily. I'm sharing this with you today. So let's start from the beginning. This is a German website. We call it Warenursprung und Präferenzen online. This is a website from the Zoll, from the German authority. And it's in Germany, where it's in German because we are in Germany right now. And I show you, yes, this website. Here, this is the first question before we think about exporting or trading with a country, with a third country. This is not in the EU, for example. This is the website we use to check whether it makes sense or where can we leverage things from here. So for example, I have Korea and I want to, or Korea is, yes, let's say Korea. And we have lipsticks here, already in here. So we can check whether between the EU and South Korea, there is a free trade agreement. And if there are, or if there is a free trade agreement, what do we have to know about this? So let us check. So it says that we have a preferential agreement here, so we can make use of it. And this is the type of regulation that we can use. The Ursprungspräferenz, that means there must be a specific sentence, which I will show you in a minute. There must be a specific sentence on the commercial invoice to be accepted by the customs authority so that you can leverage the FTA agreement here and eliminate or even reduce tariff duties. So this is the type of regulation. And here you can see that, for example, in English, you will have to say the exporter of the products covered by this document have to declare blah, blah, blah. So this is the English version of it. You have to say, declare things on your commercial invoice. Wow. This is something a lot of people don't know. And this is an expertise that we experts use to make decision, to check on commercial invoices, whether this is correct or not, whether we can leverage the FTA or not. Okay, the next website I want to show you is the EZT Online 94. So this is also a website from the German authority. Here we can check on, this is socks, code for socks, and we want to import this from China. Let's say China, CN, and I want to know how much duty I have to pay on socks in the EU. So if I import this, I know the code, right? And I know the country of origin. So it's coming from China, it's produced in China. And now I want to import this. It says that I have to pay 90% VAT here, and then on down below here, you can see the Drittlandzollsatz is the third country duty, which is 12% here. So I will pay 12% duty on this socks. Depends on how high the value is. For example, if you're buying socks from China for 100 euros, you have to pay 112 euros for the duties. All right, and 90%, of course, for the VAT. So this is, but how we calculate, I will explain that in another video. I don't want to explore this one today. So this is the two websites, which is very crucial for us, global trade experts, that we use daily to explore all these codes. What's behind the codes? What these are like, a tree, a code tree. We call the tree because it starts from like four digits and ends with like 11 digits, and these digits have a meaning. Like this is German, but you can also translate that into English. So these are the German websites that I can show you. It's not international, it's just for German people, German experts that check here these codes before they even give a consultation to the purchase manager or to the sales team. You can give this out, these information out, so that they can calculate the price, for example, and so on. So I think this is it for today. I think this is enough to say. Because I think this is a lot of information. Let's stop this sharing here and go back to the camera. All right. So have you ever wondered if you're overpaying on tariffs maybe, or duties? Let me know in the comments and I'll share more tips to help you save your business. And don't forget to subscribe. Tomorrow I will talk about, or I will focus on how to prepare for customs audits, what communication style do I use to get connected with the customs authority, how do I prepare myself, and how to avoid common pitfalls. All right, that's enough for today. I'm going to say bye for now. Until then, have a good night, have a good evening, have a good day, and see you in the next video. Bye.